Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium, just about 5 minutes or so away from the start of the second game this afternoon, as the Lyon College Scots getting set to take on the Webster University Gorloks in a St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic Conference matchup. Scots come into the ball game tonight with a record of 9-5 on the season. They're 6-2 in conference play. They're coming off a 96-82 victory on Thursday night here at Becknell Gymnasium over Westminster. Webster comes into the ball game tonight with a record of 8-8 on the season. They're 6-3 in SLIAC play. They're coming off a 69-56 win over the Mississippi University for Women on Thursday night. They're averaging 71.9 points per game, 70.7 that they give up on defense. And again, the Scots averaging 86.1 points per game, giving up 77.1. To what? Scots have 5 players in double figures on the season. They're led by Colin McCullough at 14.3 points per game. Nick Sasaroga averaging 13.3 points per game. Frank Toney at 12.7 points per game. Malik Madison at 10.6 points per game. And Trenton Bell at 10.1 points per game. Webster has 2 players in double figures on the season. Jason Coleman, who's averaging at 10.5 points per game, and Nate Jones averaging at 10.4 points per game. After this afternoon's game, Scots will be on the road on Tuesday as they will take on the Mississippi University for Women in a conference matchup. Scots will be back here on Thursday at 7 o'clock or so as they will take on Fontenbaugh in a conference matchup. They'll be back here also a week from Saturday at about this same time, about 3 o'clock or so, as they will take on Principia. We'll have the Fontenbaugh game and the Principia game here for you live on the Scots Digital Network. We are about 2 minutes or so away from the introduction of the starting lineups. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll be back with the lineups in the first half action. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network, powered by Blue Frame Technology. Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium where we're just about ready to begin the men's action between Webster and Lyon College. The Webster Gorlocks come into the ball game this afternoon with a record of 8-8 on the season. They're 6-3 in conference play. Starting for them at guard, a 6-foot senior from Memphis, Tennessee, number 3, Jason Coleman. Coleman averaging 10.5 points and 3.3 rebounds per game. At guard, a 6-foot sophomore out of St. Louis, Missouri, number 3, Booker Simmons. Simmons averaging 6.2 points and 3.3 rebounds per game. At forward, a 6'5 senior out of Huntsville, Alabama, number 15, Nate Jones. Jones averaging 10.4 points and 4.7 rebounds per game. At forward, a 6'3 senior out of St. Louis, Missouri, number 23, Josh Luster. Luster averaging 4.9 points and 2.7 rebounds per game. And at forward, a 6'4 junior from Jennings, Missouri, number 24, Carl Moore. Moore averaging 8.5 points and 7 rebounds per game. Webster is coached by Chris Bunch. He is assisted by Mike Senior, William Manning, George Little, and Javon Nugent. For the Lyon College Scots this afternoon, who come into the ballgame with a record of 9-5 on the year. They're 6-2 in conference play. At guard, a 6'4 junior out of Atlanta, Georgia, number 1, Israel Palmer. Palmer's averaging 8 points and 2.4 rebounds per game. At guard, a 6'4 junior out of Long Island, or 6-foot junior, out of Long Island, New York, number 2, Frank Toney. Frank's averaging 12.7 points and 2.9 rebounds per game. At guard, a 6'5 junior out of North Little Rock, Arkansas, number 4, Kylan McCullough. McCullough's averaging 14.3 points and 4.5 rebounds per game. At forward, a 6'10 junior out of Sacramento, California, number 20, Malik Madison. Malik's averaging 10.6 points and 6.3 rebounds per game. And at forward, a 6'9 junior out of Kamencia, Serbia, number 25, Nicholas Sasaroga. Nick's averaging 13.3 points and 7.7 rebounds per game. Scots are coached by Rodney Mays, who is in his 3rd season. He is assisted by Ray Reeves. Scots will be in their home white uniforms with the blue lettering, blue numbers, red and blue stripes. And Webster will be in their dark blue uniforms with yellow numbers and yellow stripes. Webster will move left to right on your computer screen here in the first half. Scots are going to move right to left. And just about ready for SLAC basketball here from Becknell Gymnasium, Terry Garner Court on the campus of Lyon College on a cold, windy afternoon. It will be Carl Moore jumping center for Webster. It will be Malik Madison jumping for the Scots. Ball is in the air, opening tip going to be controlled by the Scots. Kylan McCullough with it. Scots with the first possession of the basketball game. McCullough cut off on the baseline, double team, ball knocked away, stolen by Webster. Quickly ahead into the front court with the basketball. Long three-pointer left wing on the way, up and good by number 23, Josh Luster. And that is the first three-pointer of the basketball game, first lead of the basketball game. Whistle timeout on the floor. Rodney Mays didn't like what he saw. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network. Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium, 19:43 left to go here in the opening half. Scots trail at 3-0. Scots will inbound the basketball. Israel Palmer will bring it up across the timeline. Scots go to set their offense. This is Frank Toney on the right side of the floor. Frank keeps his dribble alive, looks to get a screen from Sasaroga. Frank's going to take it, going to go to the basket, kicks it. Left wing, Israel Palmer got it. He's going to take it in the lane. He can't do anything with it. They'll get it to McCullough. McCullough, three-pointer on the way off the iron. No good. Rebound tipped out by Sasaroga. And Picked up by Webster. Running layup up, no good. Rebound comes off to Malik Madison. Scots with the basketball. They'll get it ahead to Sasaroga. Sasaroga's going to take it strong to the basket. Layup up and good. Nick Sasaroga with the first 2 points of the basketball game. 3-2. Webster leads it by 1. This is Simmons with the basketball. Moore. That's Nate Jones. And he's going to throw the basketball away. It'll be Scott's basketball on the turnover. Scott's with the basketball and a chance to take their first lead of the basketball game. They trail at 3-2, 18:43 left to go here in the opening half. Sasaroga will trigger it in. Frank Toney now with the basketball, walks it across the timeline into the front court. McCullough, entry pass Sasaroga on the right elbow. Back to Israel Palmer. He's going to put it on the floor. Now he'll step back. Sasaroga, Colin McCullough. 14 on the shot clock. Nick's going to put it on the floor. Can't do anything with it. He's trying to back his man down. He's going to get to the left block. He's going to spin in the lane. Up and under. Layup up. No good. Malik Madison hammers the follow home. Scots lead by 1, 4-3. As Malik gets his first dunk of the afternoon. 18:06 left to go here in the opening half. Nate Jones with it in the left corner. He's got the ball back. Entry pass goes in. Shot up, no good. Rebound comes off to Colin McCullough as Carl Moore couldn't find it. And there's the ball knocked away out of bounds. It'll be Scott's basketball. 17:48 left to go here in the opening half. Scott's lead at 4-3. Frank Toney with it as he comes into the front court. Scots will set their offense. Malik Madison now over to Toney. Down on the left block to Sasaroga. Nick is going to try to back down. Has the ball knocked out of his hands and stolen by Webster. Josh Luster with the basketball. That's Nate Jones. They'll swing it over to Coleman. He'll set the offense. Simmons. Entry pass goes into Coleman. He's knocked down. Foul. They're going to call that one, I believe, on Malik Madison. They do. That'll be the first personal foul on Malik. It will be the first team foul. Webster will inbound the basketball. They get it into Moore. This is Simmons. He's running shot on the way. No good. Rebound comes off to Sasaroga. Scots with the basketball and a chance to build on their lead. Nick with the basketball. He'll hand it off to Israel. Scots will set their offense. Israel to the left side of the floor. Down to McCullough. He's going to put it on the floor. He's going to drive, pull up. Shot on the way. Good. Colin McCullough. His first 2 points of the basketball game. Scots lead it 6-3. 16:48 left to go here in the opening half. Jones with the basketball on the left wing. He'll get it to Simmons. They'll get it inside. There's a shot up. No good. Rebound comes off. Fought for, knocked out of bounds. Last touched off the hands of Webster. It'll be Scott's basketball. Carl Moore missed the shot. And Scots now have the ball in the 3-point lead. 16:30 left to go here before halftime. Frank Toney into the front court with the basketball. They'll get it on the left side here to Nick Sasaroga. This is McCullough. Frank Toney, right wing, three-pointer on the way. It's short. Rebound comes off to Webster. Into the front court with the basketball. Jason Coleman has it. He'll swing it on the left side to Luster. Down on the baseline, that's Jones. Coleman now with it left side of the floor. They'll swing it back to Jones. Three-pointer left wing on the way. It's off. No good. Rebound comes off to Colin McCullough. Scott's with the basketball. Frank Toney quickly into the front court. Toney's going to go all the way to the basket. Layup up, no good. There's a scramble for the rebound and outlet. There's a drive to the basket. Layup up and good by number 3, Jason Coleman. That's his first 2 points of the basketball game. 6-5. Scott's by 1. 15:30 left to go before halftime. Israel Palmer with the basketball on the left wing. He's going to pull up. Three-pointer on the way. Good. Israel Palmer drains the first 3 of the ball game for the Scots. 9-5, 4-point Scott lead, their largest of the basketball game. 15-10 left to go here before halftime. Moore with the basketball. This is Luster. He'll get it to Moore. His layup up and good. Carl Moore with his first 2 points of the basketball game. 9-7. Scots lead it. 14:45 left to go before halftime. Frank Toney with the basketball. This is Israel Palmer down in the right corner to Sasaroga. He's going to take it. He's going to drive to the basket, and they're going to call a travel. Nick took an extra step. He was trying to get it to Israel Palmer, who was cutting to the basket, but a defender stepped in the way, and Nick took an extra step. Into the front court with the basketball. That's Josh Luster. He walked with the basketball, no call. They'll get it over to Simmons. Jones is going to put it on the floor. He's going to drive to the basket. His running shot up, no good. Whistle foul. He'll go to the line for two, as I think they're going to call that one on Nick. No, they're going to call it on Colin McCullough. That'll be Collins' first personal foul. It'll be the second team foul. At the line to shoot two will be Nate Jones, 6'5" senior out of Huntsville, Alabama. First free throw on the way and good. That's his first point of the basketball game. 9-8, Scots by one. Second free throw on the way is also good. He's got two in the basketball game. We're tied at 9. 14:08 left to go here before halftime. Frank Toney with the basketball. Scott set their offense. Frank will get it to Israel on the left wing. Entry pass goes into Madison. Madison's going to go strong to the basket and had his shot blocked. Simmons comes away with it. There's a drive to the basket. Shot up and good by number 3, Jason Coleman. He's now got 4 points in the basketball game. 11-9. Webster leads by 2. 13:35 left to go before halftime. Israel Palmer with it. They'll get it on the right side to McCullough. Now back to Toney. Entry pass goes into Sasaroga. Layup up and good. Nick Sasaroga now with 4 points in the basketball game. We're tied at 11. 13:20 left to go before halftime. Into the front court with the basketball. That is Luster on the left side of the floor. There's a drive to the basketball, knocked out of bounds, last touched off the hands of Frank Toney. Checking in for the Scots, number 12, John Paul Morgan, 6'2" junior out of Batesville, Arkansas. He's going to replace Malik Madison. So it is Israel Palmer, Nick Sasaroga, Frank Toney, Colin McCullough, and J.P. Morgan on the floor for the Scots. 7 on the shot clock for Webster. They'll swing it left wing. 3, 2. They don't know about the shot clock, and they're going to get a shot clock violation as the Scots do a great job on the defensive end. Checking in for Webster, number 22, Marcus Beckton, 6'5" senior out of Chicago, Illinois. He's going to replace Carl Moore. Scots with the basketball. It's tied at 11. 12:52 left to go here before halftime. Frank Toney into the front court with the basketball. This is Palmer. Colin McCullough on the left wing. Palmer now with it. Back to Toney. Israel Palmer, 10 on the shot clock for the Scots. They'll get it to Toney on the left wing. Entry pass goes in for Sasaroga. It's stolen. There's a drive to the basket. Layup up and good by Nate Jones. He's got 4 points in the basketball game. 13-11. Webster by 2. 12-14 left to go here before halftime. Colin McCullough thought about it. This is J.P. Morgan. Whistle. They're going to call a foul on Sasaroga. They do. That's the first on Nick. That's the third team foul, so Webster will have the basketball and a chance to build on a 2-point lead. 12:06 left to go as Webster inbounds the basketball in the back court. Into the front court, this is Beckton with the basketball. Left wing, that's right wing, that's Simmons. Jones with it. Down in the right corner. That's Becton. There's a step back shot on the way. It's a two-pointer by number 23, Josh Luster. He's now got 5 points in the basketball game, 15-11, 4-point lead, largest in the basketball game for Webster. Sasaroga, he'll get it to McCullough. McCullough's going to step inside the arc, shot on the way, no good rebound, fought for, knocked out of bounds, last touched. It will be Scott's basketball off of Webster. Frank Toney gets it into J.P. Morgan. Up top to Israel Palmer. Now to McCullough. Sasaroga with the basketball. He's going to go to the basket. Layup up and good. Nick Sasaroga now with 6 points in the basketball game. 15-13. Scots trail by 2. 11:05 left to go before halftime. Becton's carrying the basketball. No call. That's Luster, excuse me. There's a drive to the basket. Whistle, offensive foul. Will go the other way as they're going to call that one on number 15, Nate Jones. That's his first personal foul. It's the first team foul. And John Paul Morgan takes the charge. Trenton Bell, 6'5 senior out of Cave City, Arkansas, checks in for the Scots. His first action. So it's Toney, Morgan, McCullough, Sasaroga, and Bell on the floor for the Scots. Entry pass goes into J.P. Morgan. Ball knocked out of bounds, last touched off the hands of Webster. In for Webster, number 31, Alan Grahovich. Grahovich is a 6'2 sophomore out of Arnold, Missouri. His first action of the afternoon. J.P. Morgan now gets the ball to Trenton Bell. Bell with it at the top of the key. He'll swing it right side. And ball knocked away and stolen by Webster. They've got a 2-on-1 break. They'll get it back. Layup by Grahovich, up and good. Grahovich with his first 2 points of the basketball game. 17-13, 4-point Webster lead. 10:20 left to go before halftime. McCullough's going to put it on the floor, step back. Shot short. Sasaroga was bodied up, no call. And Webster's going to come away with the basketball. They shove Sasaroga out of bounds. There's a drive to the basket. Shot up, no good. There's a shot up, whistle foul. They're going to call that on J.P. Morgan. And actually, they're going to call it on Frank Toney. That'll be Frank's first personal foul. It'll be the fourth team foul. Basket was good by number 24. That's Carl Moore. And he'll have a chance for the and one. Jones White, 6'1 freshman out of Lyon, will check in for the Scots and replaces Kylan McCullough. Free throw on the way is up and good. 5 points in the basketball game for Moore. 20-13, 7-point Webster lead. 9:57 left to go here before halftime. Frank Toney with it. Now this is White. Back to Toney. Entry pass goes into Sasaroga. Knocked away. He gets it back. He's going to go strong to the basket. Tries to get it to J.P. Morgan. Ball out of bounds. Last touched by Morgan. Webster with the basketball and a chance to build on a 7-point lead. 9:40 left to go here before halftime. Coleman. Moore with it. Grahovich. That's Coleman. Entry pass goes into Moore. His turnaround shot up and good. Carl Moore now with 7 points in the basketball game. 22-13. Frank Toney with it. He's going to drive to the basket or get it out to Bell on the right wing. Three-pointer on the way. In and out, no good. Rebound comes off to Nick Sasaroga. He was hammered. No call. Oh, my goodness. Malik Madison's going to check back in for the Scots. The ball's out of bounds off of Sasaroga. Simmons will check back in for Webster, as will Nate Jones. So the Scots have Jones White, Trenton Bell, Frank Toney, Malik Madison, J.P. Morgan on the floor. They trail at 22-13, 9:02 left to go here before halftime. Jones with the basketball on the right wing. They'll swing it on the left side. That's Beckton. Jones now with the basketball. Back to Beckton. Jones, he's going to spin in the lane. His running layup up and good. Nate Jones now with 6 points. 24-13, 11 points lead. There's an entry pass that goes into Morgan. Three-pointer, left corner on the way, good by Jones White. His first three of the basketball game. It's the second for the Scots, 24-16. Scots trail it, 8:18 left to go. There's a steal. Frank Toney, he's going to take it. He's going to go all the way. Layup, up and good. Frank with his first 2 points of the basketball game, 24-18. As the Scots have cut it to 6. Simmons now with the basketball. He's trapped in the corner. He'll get it up top to Jones. Jones. Beckton now. They'll get it back to Jones. His shot up and good. Nate Jones now with 8 points. 26-18. As the Scots trail it into the front court with the basketball. Frank Toney, long three-pointer on the way off the front of the iron. No good. Rebound comes off to Webster. Quickly into the front court. Beckton with the basketball. Grahovich. There's a walk, no call. And Nate Jones drains a three. His second three of our first three of the basketball game. 29-18. Largest lead of the ball game for Webster. Malik Madison, Trenton Bell, three-pointer, left corner, in and out, no good. Rebound, whistle, they're going to call a foul on number 22, Marcus Beckton. That's his first personal foul. It'll be the second team foul. So the Scots will have the basketball on the baseline. Israel Palmer's going to check in for the Scots. He's going to replace Frank Toney, so it'll be Israel Palmer, Jones White, J.P. Morgan, Malik Madison, Trenton Bell on the floor for the Scots. J.P. Morgan now with the basketball. This is Palmer. He's cut off. He's going to pull up from the free throw line. Shot on the way, no good. Rebound comes off to Grahovich. Into the front court with the basketball. The Warlocks have it. Nate Jones. That's Beckton with the basketball. He's going to go strong to the basket. Jones with the follow up, or Carl Moore, with the follow up and good. He's now got 9 points in the basketball game, 31-18. Israel Palmer. Three-pointer, Jones White on the way. It's off, no good. Rebound comes off to Trenton Bell. Bell will get it to Jones White. His shot blocked. There's a run out. They'll get it ahead to Moore. His shot up, no good. Rebound comes off, and there's going to be a whistle and a foul on Malik Madison. That'll be Malik's second personal foul. It'll be the fifth team foul. And at the line to shoot two will be Booker Simmons. Full timeout on the floor. With that, we'll take a break in the action. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network, powered by Blue Frame Technology. Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium. 6:05 left to go before halftime. Webster leads the Scots 31-18 at the line to shoot two. Booker Simmons. Simmons' first free throw on the way is up and good. That's his first point of the basketball game. 32-18. Second free throw on the way. This one is also good. 33-18, 15 points. Gorlock lead their largest of the basketball game. Jones White with the basketball in the front court. This is Israel Palmer. Israel to Jones White on the right side. They'll get it to Sasaroga. Jones White loses it. Now he gets it to Trenton Bell. His shot partially blocked. Whistle foul. He'll go to the line to shoot two. As they're going to call that one on Grahovic. That's his first personal foul, third team foul. Trenton Bell will go to the line to shoot two. Trenton, a 6'5 senior out of Cave City. First free throw for Trenton on the way, in and out, no good. Second free throw for Trenton on the way. This one is good. That's his first point of the basketball game. Checking in for Webster, number 3, Jason Coleman. He's going to replace Alan Grahovic. (33-19), 14-point Webster lead. 5:35 left to go before halftime. Into the front court with the basketball. This is Simmons. He'll get it to Moore. Beckton now on the left wing. Whistle. They're going to call an offensive foul on number 10, which is Booker Simmons. It's his first personal foul, so the fourth team foul. Scots will inbound the basketball and a chance to cut into the lead. Jones White brings the basketball up into the front court for the Scots. They'll get it to Sasaroga. He's going to run, whistle. They're going to call a foul on 24. That's Carl Moore. That's his first personal foul, fifth team foul. And Scots will inbound the ball on the baseline with 5:11 to go before halftime. Jones White will trigger it into Malik Madison. This is Palmer now with the basketball. Sasaroga is going to put it on the floor, drive to the basket, running layup short. Rebound comes off. Picked up by Webster. Quickly into the front court. Moore with it. Simmons now. There's a drive to the basket. They're going to get it to Moore. His shot up and good. Carl Moore now with 11 points here in the first half. 35-19. Webster leads it. Jones White. He'll get it to Bell on the left wing. Down to Sasaroga on the baseline. Nick will dribble it out. Cross court to Israel Palmer. 7 on the shot clock. Israel gets it to Jones White. Turnaround shot in the lane. Up and good. Jones White now with 5 points in the basketball game. 35-21. 14-point Webster lead. There's a give and go. Beckton's going to lose the basketball. Jones White's going to get the steal. Quickly into the front court. 4-on-3 break. White's going to pull up three-pointer on the way. Off no good. Rebound comes off to Carl Moore. Into the front court with the basketball. Beckton, crossover dribble. He's going to go. He's going to be fouled from behind by Jones White. That'll be the first personal foul on Jones. It'll be the sixth team foul. Back in for Webster, number 23, Josh Luster, Colin McCullough, and Frank Toney come back into the ball game. So the Scots have their original starting 5 on the floor. In Frank Toney, Israel Palmer, Malik Madison, Nick Sasaroga, and Colin McCullough. Moore with the basketball. He's going to put a shot in the lane up, no good. There's a fight for the basketball. Simmons is going to come away with it. Now swinging around, three-pointer top of the key by Coleman, on the way, no good. Rebound by Moore. His shot up and good. Moore now 13 points in the basketball game, 37-21. Webster leads it. Frank Toney, Colin McCullough, left wing three-pointer on the way, off the iron, no good. Malik Madison with the rebound. Malik gets it to Colin McCullough, layup up and good. Colin now with 4 points in the basketball game, 37-23, 3 minutes left to go before halftime. As always at halftime, we'll take a break. About 15 minutes, be back 5 minutes before the start of the second half with all of your halftime stats. Luster. This is Moore. That's Jones. There's a running shot up, no good. Rebound comes off to Malik Madison. Scott's quickly into the front court. Israel Palmer, three-pointer, right corner on the way. It's short. Rebound comes off to Webster. Into the front court with the basketball. Simmons. Now this is Luster. Back to Simmons. Whistle, there's a travel violation. And it'll be Scott's basketball on the turnover. Whistle, full timeout on the floor. We'll take a break. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scott's Digital Network. Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium. 2:04 left to go here in the first half. Scott's trail 37-23. Scots will have the basketball in the backcourt. Frank Toney, Nick Sasaroga, Israel Palmer, Colin McCullough, Malik Madison on the floor for the Scots, the original starting five. Toney in the front court with the basketball. This is Palmer now. Frank's going to put it on the floor, drive to the basket, kicks it to Israel Palmer. Palmer's going to take it, go strong to the basket. His running layup up, no good. Malik's follow, no good. Rebound comes off to Webster. Ball stolen away by Frank Toney. Scott's with it, 3-on-2. They'll get it to Sasaroga. Running layup up and good. Nick Sasaroga now. 8 points in the basketball game, 37-25. Scott's trail by 12, a minute 33 left to go before halftime. Webster with the basketball. They'll move it around. Grahovich, long three-pointer on the way. It is up and good. Grahovich with his first three of the basketball game. He's got 5, 40-25. Scott's trail by 15. A minute left to go here before halftime. Sasaroga with it. He's going to drive the baseline. He's cut off. He'll get it to Israel Palmer. Ball knocked out of bounds last touch. They're going to say it's off of Sasaroga. 52.8 seconds left to go. Scott's trail 15 points, 40-25. They'll get it down in the left corner. That's Jones. Grahovich up top, long three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound comes off to Nick Sasaroga. Scott's with the basketball. Frank Toney. Down in the left corner to Colin McCullough. McCullough, he'll get it to Israel Palmer on the right wing. Israel is going to get it to Malik Madison. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. As they're going to call that one on Carl Moore. That'll be his second personal foul. It'll be the 6th team foul. And Malik Madison to go to the line to shoot 2 with 16.4 seconds left to go. First free throw for Malik off the back of the iron, no good. Simmons checks back in. Second free throw for Malik is up and good. J.P. Morgan's going to check in and replace him. So Malik's now got 3 points here in the first quarter, 40-26. 16.4 seconds left to go before halftime. They'll move the basketball around. Grahovic, he's going to drive to the basket. Shot up, no good. Rebound comes off to Nick Sasaroga. They'll get it ahead to Tony. He's going to throw it up. It's going to be short. And that's the way the first half will end. Your score, Lyon College trails as Webster leads it 40-26. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with your halftime stats. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scott's Digital Network. Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium, where it's halftime in the Lyon College Scots trail the Webster University Gorlocks by a halftime score of 40-26. Halftime stats for Webster, they were 16 of 28 from the floor for 57.1%, 3 of 6 from behind the three-point line for 50%, 5 of 5 from the free throw line for 100%, excuse me. They had 16 rebounds in the first half, 4 of those on the offensive end. They had 9 assists. They had 5 steals. They did not block a shot. And they committed 9 turnovers. Yeah, sorry about that. For the Lyon College Scots, they were 11 of 29 from the floor for 37.9%, just 2 of 12 from behind the three-point line for 16.7%, 2 of 4 from the free throw line for 50%. They had 12 rebounds in the first half, 4 of them on the offensive end. Scots led at one point by 4 points. Webster's largest lead of the ball game has been 16. Scots dished out 7 assists. They had no blocked shots. They had 3 steals, and Scots turned the basketball over 9 times. Individually for Webster, they were led in scoring in the first half by Carl Moore. He's got 13 points in the basketball game, 6 of 9 from the floor, 11 points for Nate Jones, 5 points for Luster, 5 points for Grahovich, 4 points for Coleman, 2 points for Simmons. Playing and not scoring was Becton. For the Scots, they were led in scoring in the first half by Nick Sasaroga. Nick's got 8 points in the basketball game, 5 points for Jones White. He's at a three-pointer. Colin McCullough has 4 points. Israel Palmer with 3 points. He's at a three-pointer. 3 points for Malik Madison, 2 points for Frank Toney, 1 point for Trenton Bell. Playing and not scoring in the first half, J.P. Morgan. So the Scots have some work to do here in the second half. They're going to have to come out and figure out a way to get some stops and get the basketball in the hole. And we'll see what kind of adjustments they made at halftime. Again, as we mentioned earlier, the Scots will be on the road Tuesday night as they will travel to take on the Mississippi University for women in a SLIAC conference matchup. Scots will be back here in action on Thursday of next week at about 7:15 or so, as they will take on Fontbonne University here in Becknell Gymnasium. And then a week from today, next Saturday, the Scots will be in action here at Becknell Gymnasium as they take on Principia. Both the Fontbonne game and the Principia game we'll have for you here live on the Scots Digital Network. We're about a minute or so away from the start of the second half action. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network, powered by Blue Frame Technology. Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium, just about ready to begin the second half of action. Scots trail Webster by a score of 40-26. Scots send out their original starting 5. Webster will have the basketball to start the second half. And this is Simmons with the basketball now across the timeline into the front court. Sasaroga, Tony, Madison, McCullough, Palmer on the floor for the Scots. Luster with the basketball on the left wing. They'll get it into Moore at the left elbow. Moore's going to try to put it on the floor, drive to the basket, shot up, no good, rebound. Comes off to Israel Palmer. Scott's got the stop that they needed on the first possession. Let's see if they can get some points on the board. Israel Palmer with the basketball. They'll get it to Sasaroga, now back to Tony. Three-pointer, right wing on the way, no good. Rebound comes off to Moore. They're going to get a run out. Here's a layup up and good by number 3, Jason Coleman. His first 2 points of the half. He's got 6 in the basketball game, 42-26. Sasaroga with it. They'll get it to Israel Palmer on the left wing. Back to Tony, 10 on the shot clock. Frank Tony's going to drive to the basket. His shot on the way, up and good. Frank Tony with his first 2 points of the half. He's got 4 in the basketball game. 42-28, 18:37 left to go. Moore with the basketball. He'll get it on the right wing to Coleman. This is Simmons with it. There's a three-pointer on the way. It's an air ball, and Malik Madison's going to come away with it. Scott's with the basketball. Palmer's going to take it, go all the way to the basket. His shot up, no good, whistle, foul. He'll go to the line for 2. And let's see who they call that one on. They're going to call it on 10, which will be Booker Simmons. That's his second personal foul. It is the first team foul of the second half. And Israel Palmer will go to the line to shoot 2. Israel's first free throw on the way, off the back of the iron, no good. Second free throw on the way, also no good. Rebound comes off to Webster. 2 minutes into the second half, Scots trail at 42-28. Jones with the basketball. Three-pointer blocked by Malik Madison. Scots are going to come away with the basketball. Frank Tony, he's going to take it, tries to get it to Malik, and through his hands and out of bounds. It'll be Webster basketball. Into the front court with the basketball, Jason Coleman. Now on the left wing, this is Luster. They're going to get it inside to Moore. His running shot up, no good, whistle. They're going to call a travel, and it'll be Scott's basketball on the turnover. Frank Tony into the front court. This is Israel Palmer. Entry pass goes into Sasaroga. McCullough, left wing, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound, Sasaroga. His shot up, no good. And rebound comes off to Webster. They'll get it to Moore. His shot no good. Rebound comes off to the Scots. Scots will push it into the front court. Palmer is going to go to the basket. Whistle. They're going to call a blocking foul. I think they're going to call that one on the foul. Could have been, they're going to call it on number 3, Jason Coleman. That's his first personal foul. It'll be the second team foul. Whistle, timeout on the floor. It's going to be a full timeout. With that, we'll take a break in the action. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network, powered by Blue Frame Technology.
Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium, 16:48 left to go here in the second half. Scots trail 42-28. Scots will have the basketball in the front court. Frank Toney will trigger it in on the baseline. He'll get it to Malik Madison. They'll swing it up top to Israel Palmer. Now back to Toney on the left wing, 20 on the shot clock. Palmer with the basketball. Frank Toney, he's going to split a couple of defenders, tries to get it to Madison, throws the basketball away. It will be another turnover, and it will be Webster basketball. Scots have been out of sync today. They've missed some shots. They've missed some passes that they were hitting on Thursday. It looks like they're just a step off for some reason. Give Webster credit. Good basketball team, well coached. Moore with the basketball. They'll swing it on the right wing to Luster. This is Simmons. Left wing, Coleman. Jones with the basketball. They'll swing it. Luster's with the basketball. He's going to take it. He's going to get it in the lane. There's a shot blocked by Malik Madison. 2-on-1 break. Israel Palmer's going to go strong to the basket. Shot up and good. Israel Palmer with his first 2 points in the half. He's got 5 in the basketball game, 42-30. Scots trail by 12, 15-55. There's a drive and there's a steal by Malik Madison, and he's going to be fouled by number 24, Carl Moore Jr. That'll be his third personal foul. It will be the third team foul. And Scots will inbound the basketball in the backcourt with a chance to cut into the lead. Frank Toney now with the basketball into the front court. This is Israel Palmer. Sasaroga now with it. Gets it to Malik Madison. Two-handed slam. Malik Madison now with 5 points in the basketball game. Scots have cut it to 10. 15:30 left to go in the basketball game. There's a drive to the basket. Underhanded layup up, no good. Colin McCullough comes away with it. Into the front court with the basketball. Israel Palmer. Back to McCullough. Collins going to put it on the floor, drive to the basket to Sasaroga, layup up and good. Nick Sasaroga now into double figures. He's got 10. Whistle timeout on the floor. It's going to be a full timeout. With that, we'll take a break in the action. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network. Oh, wait, hang on. No timeout. I'm not sure. They're going to say that the coach cannot call the timeout while the ball's in play. So no timeout. And now into the front court with the basketball is Simmons. There's a shot on the way by Simmons, and it is up, no good. Rebound comes off to McCullough. Whistle, jump ball, alternating possession. The ball will go over to the Scots on alternating possession. Checking in for Webster, number 22, Marcus Beckton. He's going to replace Josh Luster. 42-34. Scots trail by 8. 14:50 left to go in the ball game. Scots with the basketball. Frank Toney into the front court. This is Palmer on the left side. Entry pass goes into Sasaroga. Nick, layup, up and good. Nick Sasaroga now with 4 points in the half. He's got 12 in the basketball game. 42-36, as close as the Scots have been in a while. See if the Scots can get another stop. Coleman with the basketball. This is Moore on the left block. Gets it, shot altered. There's a run out. Sasaroga's got it. He's going to take it, go to the basket. Euro step, whistle. They're going to call an offensive foul on Nick Sasaroga. That'll be the second personal foul on Nick. It'll be the first team foul of the second half. Not a real good call there. I can't use my obligatory terrible call because that wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. Into the front court with the basketball comes Webster. Coleman with it. Simmons. Now down to Moore on the right block. Luster with the basketball is going to go strong to the basket. His running shot up, good, whistle, foul, and one. Or Nate Jones, excuse me. It's his first 2 points of the half. They'll call the foul on Malik. That's his third. It's the second team foul. And Jones will be at the line to shoot the and one. 13 points in the basketball game. Second or free throw on the way and good. Now with 14 points in the basketball game, 45-36. Scots trail it. J.P. Morgan's going to check in at the next break for the Scots. Frank Toney with it. Crossed it. Israel Palmer. He's going to get it to McCullough. McCullough's going to drive to the basket, pull up jumper on the way, and good. Colin McCullough with his first 2 points of the half. He's got 6 in the basketball game, 45-38. Scots trail by 7, 13-11 left to go here in the second half. McCullough almost had the steal. Oh, my goodness gracious. Becton. His shot blocked by Malik Madison. Follow up, no good. Follow there and good by number 24, Carl Moore. He's got 15 in the basketball game, 47-38. And Scots are going to throw the basketball away. J.P. Morgan checks in for the Scots. He's going to replace Malik Madison. 12:41 left to go. Grahovic checks back in for Webster. He's going to replace Simmons. Coleman with the basketball. He's going to take it. He's going to get it. Shot in the lane, up and good by number 24, Carl Moore. Now with 17 points in the basketball game, 49-38, lead back to 11 for Webster. J.P. Morgan on the right block. Gets it to Sasaroga, back to Morgan. Morgan's going to go strong to the basket, whistle foul. He'll go to the line for 2, as I believe they're going to call that one on 24. Nope, they're going to call it on 15, which is Nate Jones. It's his second. It is the 4th team foul. And at the line to shoot 2, J.P. Morgan. JP's first free throw on the way is up and good. That's his first point of the basketball game. 49-39, 10-point Webster lead. JP can cut it to 9 here. Free throw short. Rebound comes off to Webster. Into the front court with the basketball. Nate Jones with it. That's Becton. He's going to spin, drive, get it to Jones, layup up and good. He's got 6 in the half, 19 in the basketball game, 51-39. J.P. Morgan's going to go strong to the basket. Layup up and good. J.P. Morgan now with 3 points in the basketball game. Lead is 10, 51-41. Scott's got to get a stop here. 11:33 left to go in the ball game. Jones. This is Coleman. Becton at the top of the key, 10 on the shot clock. Jones. Coleman. He's going to drive to the basket, running layup, up and good. Jason Coleman, his first, or actually second basket of the half. He's got 8 in the basketball game. And then there's a ball knocked out of bounds, last touched off the hands of Becton, so it'll be Scott basketball. Malik Madison's going to check back in. He's going to replace Nick Sasaroga. Coming back into the ballgame, Josh Luster for Webster. So the Scots have Frank Toney, J.P. Morgan, Israel Palmer, Malik Madison, Colin McCullough on the floor. They trail 53-41, 10:59 left to go in this basketball game. McCullough, he'll hand the ball off to Frank Toney, 15 on the shot clock. Frank He's going to pull up from 15. Shot on the way. It falls in and good. Frank Toney now with 6 points in the basketball game. 53-43. Lead cut to 10. See if the Scots can find a way to get a stop here on the defensive end. Beckton with the ball on the right side of the floor. He'll hand it off. There's a three-pointer on the way. It's short. Rebound comes off to Colin McCullough. Scots with the basketball and a chance to cut into the lead. Frank Toney. Colin McCullough back to Toney. Entry pass goes into Israel Palmer. Israel can't do anything with it. Back out to Frank Toney, 8 on the shot clock. Entry pass goes into Morgan. Morgan strong to the basket. Layup up and good. J.P. Morgan now with 5 points in the basketball game. 53-45. 8-point Webster lead. Coleman with the basketball. Jump stop. Got away. Nope. They're going to call a foul on Israel Palmer. That will be his first personal foul. It'll be the third team foul. Checking in for Webster, number 24, Carl Moore. He's going to replace Grahovic. Webster inbounds the basketball on the baseline. This is Beckton. Down in the corner, three-pointer on the way. It's short. Rebound comes off to J.P. Morgan. Up ahead to Israel Palmer. Palmer's going to take it running. Layup up and good. Israel Palmer now 4 points in the half, 7 points in the basketball game. 53-47. Scots have cut it to 6. Into the front court with the basketball. That's Nate Jones. Now this is Moore. Coleman, he's going to pull up. Shot on the way off the iron. No good. Rebound comes off to Colin McCullough. Scots can cut it a little further. They're going to get it to Malik Madison for the slam. What a feed by Frank Toney. Whistle timeout on the floor. We'll take a break. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network. Ronald Richardson the back at Becknell Gymnasium. 9:03 left to go in the ball game. Scots have cut the lead to 4, 53-49. Frank Toney, J.P. Morgan, Israel Palmer, Trenton Bell, Malik Madison on the floor for the Scots. Webster will inbound the basketball in the backcourt. They'll get the ball into Beckton. Now this is Josh Luster with the basketball. Booker Simmons is going to check in at the next break for Webster. Beckton with the basketball. This is Luster on the right wing. Coleman. Entry pass goes down into Moore. Moore goes to work, loses the basketball. There's a shot up and good. Whistle foul and one. Is they're going to call that one on Malik, I believe. Yep, that'll be his fourth team foul. So the basket was good by Coleman. He's now getting double figures with 10, and he'll be at the line to shoot one. He can make the lead 7 here. Free throw on the way is up and good. Nick Sasaroga is going to check back in and replace Malik Madison. Malik goes to the bench with 7 points. Grahovic back in for Webster. Scott's inbound the basketball. They trail at 56-49. Frank Toney with the basketball on the right side of the floor. Now he'll dribble up top. Now over on the left side of the floor. Get it to Sasaroga. Now back to Toney on the left wing. Israel Palmer on the baseline. Back to Frank Toney. 10 on the shot clock. Bell can't do anything with it. Israel Palmer. 7 on the shot clock. Israel's going to put it on the floor. Drive. Kicks it to Bell. Three-pointer right wing on the way. It's short. And Sasaroga's going to put it up. And it's going to be a two-shot foul as they're going to call that one on Becton. That'll be his second personal foul. It'll be the 5th team foul. And at the line to shoot 2, Nick Sasaroga. The big Serb at the line to shoot 2. First free throw on the way, in and out, no good. Second free throw for Nick. This one's off the back of the iron, no good. And the rebound comes off to Webster. Quickly into the front court with the basketball. Becton's going to go all the way to the basket. Layup up and good. Becton with his first 2 points of the basketball game, 58-49. Lead back to 9 for Webster. Frank Toney's going to pull up long three-pointer. It's no good. Rebound comes off to Webster. Into the front court with the basketball. Becton has it. This is Grahovic inside. Layup up and good by number 23, Josh Luster. He's now got 7 points in the basketball game, 60-49, 11-point lead for the Gorlocks. Entry pass goes into Sasaroga, now back out to Bell. Bell's going to put it on the floor. He's going to drive to the basket, running shot up and good. Trenton Bell with his first basket of the ball game. He's got 3, 60-51, 7 minutes left to go. Scots have to find a way to get another stop here. Scots trying to extend their defense. Grahovic with the basketball. Back up top, this is Luster. Moore's going to lose the basketball, and they're going to say it's off of Frank Toney out of bounds. It will be Webster basketball with 5 on the shot clock. So they'll inbound the basketball on the far sideline. Grahovic will trigger it in. Moore, offensive foul. Oh, they're going to call a block on Sasaroga. Now that was a terrible call. That's the 3rd on Nick. That's the 5th team foul. And that was just an anticipation call, and that was terrible. Nick absolutely had position. Grahovic, three-pointer right wing. It's off, no good. Rebound comes off to J.P. Morgan. Scott's with the basketball and a chance to cut into the lead. Grahovic's going to steal it. 3-on-2 break. Becton, whistle, offensive foul. Good job by J.P. Morgan. As they call that one on Becton, that'll be his 3rd personal foul. It'll be the 6th team foul. That's 2 possessions in a row. The Scots should have got charges, but they only get the 1 out of them. 6:21 left to go in the ball game. Scots trail at 60-51. Frank Toney with it. He'll bring the ball up into the front court across to Israel Palmer. Scots need to get some more points on the board. Frank Toney back to Palmer. Israel. He's going to drive now back out to Toney. He's going to put it on the floor, drive to the basket. Sasaroga cuts. He has his shot blocked. He'll get it back. He'll get it out to Israel Palmer. Palmer is going to drive to the basket, pull up in the lane. Shot no good. Rebound comes off to Webster. Quickly into the front court with the basketball. Grahovic now on the left side. Entry pass goes in. Moore's shot up and good. Carl Moore Jr. now with 21 points in the basketball game, 62-51. Scots trail at 5:35 left to go. J.P. Morgan with it. He's going to go strong to the basket. Layup good, whistle foul, and one. See who they call that one on. 24, that's on Moore. That's his fourth personal foul. It is the seventh team foul. Nate Jones checks back in. And J.P. Morgan will be at the line for the and one. JP's free throw on the way is good. He's now got 8 points in the basketball game, 62-54. The lead is 8. 5:25 left to go. Coleman's going to check back in at the next break for Webster. Jones on the left-right baseline. He's going to spin. His shot up, no good, whistle foul. They're going to call that one, I believe, on JP. Nope, call it on Kylan. That's Kylan's second personal foul. It is the sixth team foul. At the line to shoot two, Nate Jones. Free throw on the way, in and out, no good. Second free throw on the way off the front of the iron. No good. Rebound tracked down by Frank Toney. Scots with the basketball and a chance to cut into the lead. McCullough, left wing. Three-pointer on the way. Good. Colin McCullough drains his first three of the basketball game. He's got 5 in the half, 9 in the ball game, 62-57. Webster with the basketball. Can the Scots find another stop here with 4:45 left to go in the ball game? Jones spins, layup up and good. Nate Jones now with 5 in the half. Israel Palmer with it, step back, left wing, three-pointer on the way off the iron. No good. Rebound tracked down by Colin McCullough. Sasaroga with it. He's going to take it, kicks it out to Frank Toney. Frank. He's going to drive to the basket. Running layup up, no good. Rebound comes off to Webster. Quickly ahead, 2-on-3 break. Simmons wisely backs it out. Webster's going to try to run some clock with 4:03 left to go here in the ball game. Malik Madison's going to check in at the next break for the Scots. 10 on the shot clock for Webster. Coleman tries to get it in, has the ball knocked away, out of bounds last touch. They're going to say it's off of Colin McCullough with 3 on the shot clock. Malik Madison's going to check in. J.P. Morgan will go to the bench. Coleman will trigger it in. There's 3 on the shot clock. They're going to lose the basketball. Scots are going to get it. Frank Toney up ahead. He's going to take it all the way to the basket. Layup blocked. It's picked up by Malik Madison. Madison loses the basketball. There's a walk. No, there they finally call it. Wow. .336 left to go in the ball game. Scots trail at 64-57. They've got the basketball in the backcourt. Sasaroga with it. This is Palmer. Right wing to Frank Toney. Now across to McCullough. Back to Toney. Sasaroga left wing. Frank Toney gets it back to Sasaroga. Sasaroga's going to drive to the basket. Layup up and good. Nick Sasaroga now with 14 points in the basketball game. 64-59. 5 points. Webster lead, 3 minutes exactly left to go in the ball game. See if the Scots can find a way to get another stop here.
Entry pass goes in to Moore. He turns. This is Coleman with the basketball. He's going to drive. Shot up, no good. Rebound comes off. It's picked up by Simmons. His shot up and good. Simmons now with 4 points in the basketball game, 66-59. Scots trail, 2:35 left to go. Kylan McCullough. Entry pass to Sasaroga at the left elbow. Back to Frank Toney. Tries to get it to Madison, throws it away. .226 left to go. Scots trail 66-59. Simmons is going to pull up on the baseline, shot on the way, no good. Rebound comes off to Kylan McCullough. Scots will push it into the front court. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to go. Sasaroga to Madison. His layup up, good. Whistle, foul, and one. Let's see who they call the foul on. 24, that's on Cole Moore. He's out of the ball game. That is the 8th team foul. Carl Moore was fouled out of the basketball game. He had 21 points in the basketball game, but he goes to the bench with 2:04 left to go. Malik Madison will be at the line to shoot one. Whistle, timeout on the floor. We'll take a break. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network. Ronald Richardson at back at Becknell Gymnasium. 2:04 left to go in the ball game. Scots trail 66-61. Malik Madison will be at the line to shoot one. 16 fouls on the Scots, 18 fouls on Webster. So Webster will be in the bonus with the next Scots foul. Possession arrow favors Webster. Webster has 4 timeouts. Lyon with 2. Malik can cut it to 4 right here. Free throw on the way, in and out, no good. Rebound comes off, and they're going to call a foul on Nick Sasaroga. That'll be the 4th on Nick. It'll be the 7th team foul, so we'll walk the other way to shoot a 1-and-1. Nate Jones will be at the line to shoot the 1-and-1. He just missed 2 from the free throw line just a few minutes ago. Free throw on the way. This one is good. Six in the half, 17 in the basketball game, 67-61. Second free throw on the way is good. 68-71, 2:02 left to go. Scott's got to get some offense in a hurry. Israel Palmer with the basketball. Now to Frank Toney. Back to Palmer. Israel, Toney. Kylan McCullough. He's going to take it. Gets it to Malik Madison in the lane. Malik loses the basketball, gets it back. Now he's going to go strong to the basket. Shot up, whistle, foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. As they're going to call that one on number 15, Nate Jones. That'll be his 3rd. It'll be the 9th team foul. And Malik will go to the line to shoot 2. 68-61. Webster leads it.
First free throw for Malik on the way. This one is up and good. He's in the double figures now with 10 points, 68-62. Second free throw on the way. This one is also good. Give him 11 in the basketball game. 68-63. Scots trail by 5. 1:38 left to go. Scott's got to find a way to get the basketball back. Have to get a stop here. Coleman. This is Nate Jones. Simmons now with the basketball. Jones on the right wing. Whistle, offensive foul. We're going to go the other way, as they're going to call that one on number 10, Booker Simmons. That'll be his third personal foul. It will be the 10th team foul. No free throws because of the offensive foul. And Scots have the basketball with 1:20 left to go. They trail by 5. Frank Toney now. Israel Palmer. Back to Toney down in the right corner to Sasaroga. Back out to Toney. Colin McCullough, left wing, three-pointer on the way, good! Colin McCullough drains another 3. Scots trail by 2. Timeout on the floor with 64 seconds. We'll be back. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network. Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium. 1:04 left to go in the ball game. Scots have cut it to 2, 68-66. Webster's going to inbound the basketball in the backcourt. Scots have Frank Toney, Israel Palmer, Colin McCullough, Nick Sasaroga, Malik Madison on the floor. 3 timeouts left for Webster, 2 left for the Scots. Scots are in the double bonus. Webster in the bonus. Possession arrow favors Webster. See if the Scots can get a stop here. Becton with the basketball. This is Coleman. 10 on the shot clock. There's a shot in the lane. It is up. It's no good. Rebound comes off to Webster. And then there's a steal by the Scots. Scots with the basketball. There's about a second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. McCullough, left wing, whistle timeout on the floor. And it'll be the Scots basketball with 25 seconds left to go in the ball game. We're going to take a break in the action. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network. Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium. 25 seconds left to go in the ball game. Scots trail 68-66. Scots have the basketball in the front court. 2 timeouts for Webster. 1 timeout, I believe, for the Scots. Israel Palmer will inbound the basketball. There is a second differential between the shot clock and the game clock, so the Scots, in essence, can hold it for the final shot of the ball game. Israel Palmer, he's going to pull up, shot on the baseline, good! Israel Palmer now with 9 points in the basketball game. We're tied at 68. 10 seconds left to go. Let's see if the Scots can find a way to get a stop here with no time. Coleman with the basketball. He's going to take the shot. He's going to drive to the basket, pull up on the baseline, no good. And we're going to go to overtime. 68-68. We've got free basketball at Becknell Gymnasium. We'll be back in a minute. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network. Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium, where the Lyon College Scots and the Webster Gorlocks are going to go to overtime. We're tied at 68. Israel Palmer hit the shot to tie the ball game. Jason Coleman missed the shot at the buzzer, and we go to overtime. The big thing about this is Carl Moore Jr., who leads everybody in scoring at 21 points, is fouled out of the basketball game. Scots are going to send out their original starting five: Israel Palmer, Kylan McCullough, Malik Madison, Nick Sasaroga, and Frank Toney. Scots trailed by as many as 16 points in that basketball game and has fought all the way back to tie it up. The opening tip is controlled by the Scots. Scots with the basketball, 5 minutes on the game clock. Entry pass goes into Sasaroga. He's going to spin, layup up and good. Nick Sasaroga now with his first 2 points of the overtime period. He's got 16. Scots lead at 70-68. 4:37 left to go. The big serve going to work. Let's go defense. Let's get a stop. Beckton with the basketball. He gets it back from Simmons. He's cut off. This is Jones with the basketball. Simmons, he's going to drive to the basket, running shot up, no good. Rebound comes off, fought for. It's going to be picked up and layup, no good. Rebound comes off to Sasaroga. He was fouled, no call, but he comes away with the basketball. 4:05 left to go here in the overtime period. Scots lead at 70-68. Frank Toney with the basketball. Scots content to run time off the clock. Frank with the basketball. Now to McCullough. Whistle. They're going to kick the basketball, so that'll reset the shot clock to 20. And Scots now get an extra 13 seconds to run off the clock here if they so choose. 3:48 left to go in the overtime period. Scots lead at 70-68. Scots are in the double bonus. Frank Toney with the basketball. Sasaroga now. 10 on the shot clock for the Scots. Israel Palmer. He's going to drive to the basket, running shot up, good! Israel Palmer with his first 2 points of the overtime period. He's got 14. Scots match their largest lead of the ball game, 72-68, 3:20 left to go. Coleman, step back. He's going to try to get it in. Ball knocked away. There's a scramble for it. Scots come away with it. And then now there's another scramble. That's a travel. How did he not call that?
And there's a dunk on the other end by number 15. He's got 20 in the basketball game, 72-70. That was absolutely terrible as he rolled over. That is against the rules, no call. Man, Scott's with the basketball and the 2-point lead. Frank Toney with it, 10 on the shot clock. Israel Palmer, Sasaroga, try to get it to Madison. Ball knocked away and stolen. Webster with the basketball and a chance to tie. Becton with the basketball. He's going to drive to the basket, running shot up and good. Marcus Becton now has 4 points in the basketball game. 72-72, 2:20 left to go. Malik Madison with it. He's going to have the ball knocked away. Now there's going to be a scramble for it. He gets it back, whistle foul. He's going to go to the line for 2 shots. As they're going to call that one on number 15, Nate Jones. That's his 4th personal foul. And Malik will go to the line for 2 shots with 2:15 left to go. 72-72. Possession arrow favors Webster. Free throw on the way, no good. Scott's in the double bonus. Webster in the bonus. Scott's with just 17 fouls. Malik's second free throw on the way. This one's also off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound comes off to Luster. Webster with the basketball and a chance to take the lead on this possession. 2:07 left to go. Josh Luster with the basketball. This is Jones in the left corner. He's going to get it. Simmons, layup, no good. Rebound comes off to Israel Palmer. Scots are going to push it into the front court. Israel's going to take it, go all the way to the basket. Running layup up, no good. Ball knocked out. Colin McCullough gets it. Scots will reset. 1:45 left to go. Palmer in the right corner with the basketball. 13 on the shot clock. Colin McCullough. Out to Frank Toney, left wing. Toney's going to drive to the basket. Running shot on the way, no good. Tipped up, no good. Rebound comes off to Madison. His shot up, partially blocked. And Webster comes away with the basketball. 1:23 left to go. Here into the front court. There's the ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch off the hands of Colin McCullough. (72-72). In overtime, entry pass goes into Jones. He's going to go spin. He's going to have the ball stolen by Toney. Outlet pass. Israel Palmer is going to go all the way to the basket. Shot up, no good. Whistle foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. As they're going to call that foul on Josh Luster. That'll be his first personal foul. And Israel Palmer will be at the line to shoot 2 shots with 69 seconds left to go in the first overtime period. 72-72. Israel's got 14 points in the basketball game. First free throw on the way is good. 3 in the overtime period now. 15 in the basketball game, 73-72. Second free throw on the way. This one is good. Whistle timeout on the floor. It's a full timeout. We'll take a break in the action. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network, powered by Blue Frame Technology.
Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium. A minute 9 left to go in overtime. Scots lead this one 74-72. Webster will have the basketball in the backcourt. Scots are going to send out Colin McCullough, Israel Palmer, Frank Toney, Nick Sasaroga, Malik Madison. Scots are in the double bonus. Webster in the bonus. 2 timeouts left for the Scots, 3 for Webster. Possession arrow favors Webster. Into the front court with the basketball. Coleman has it, throws it away. It's the Scots basketball. One minute left to go. Scots lead it and have the basketball, 74-72. Full court pressure shown by Webster. They'll get the basketball into Toney. Scots will be able to run down to 30 seconds. Frank Toney across the timeline. Scots are going to do everything they can to milk as much time off the clock. They lead at 74-72. They're going to clear the floor and give Frank some room to operate. 10 on the shot clock. He gets a screen from Sasaroga. Frank loses the basketball, and they're going to say it's out of bounds off of Frank Toney, and actually they're going to Nope, they're going to give it to Webster. 34.2 seconds left to go in the ball game, so that means there's a 4.2 second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Webster can hold it till 4.2 seconds left. Webster with the basketball. Coleman. They'll swing it left side. That's Becton. Whistle. They're going to call a foul on who? 25. That's on Sasaroga. That's all on Nick. He's fouled out of the basketball game. Nick will foul out with 16 points in the basketball game. J.P. Morgan's going to check in. And at the line to shoot, shooting a 1-and-1 will be Marcus Becton. Whistle timeout on the floor by Lyon College with 16.9 seconds. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network. Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium. 16.9 seconds left to go in overtime. Scots lead at 74-72. Marcus Becton will be at the free throw line for Webster to shoot a 1-and-1. Free throw on the way, off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound comes off to Malik Madison. Scots are going to save the basketball. Whistle, there's going to be a foul called. Let's see, they're going to call the foul and send Israel Palmer to the free throw line. Foul was called on number 31, Grahovic. That's his second personal foul. Israel go to the line to shoot 2 free throws with 11.5 seconds left to go in the basketball game. 74-72. Whistle timeout on the floor for Webster. We'll leave it here. So 11.5 seconds left to go in the basketball game. Scots lead at 74-72. Scots are in the double bonus.
Webster in the bonus. Scots have committed 18 fouls. So Scots have a foul to give before Webster gets a chance to shoot 2 free throws. But most importantly, at the line will be Israel Palmer to shoot 2 free throws here. The possession arrow does favor Webster. Scots have 1 timeout left. Webster has 2. And Israel Palmer will be at the line to shoot 2. Israel has 16 points in the basketball game. .6'4" junior from Atlanta. First free throw on the way. Off the iron, no good. Second free throw on the way. This one is good. 75-72. Webster's got to have a 3. Into the front court with the basketball. There's a drive to the basket. It's a layup, up and good. Whistle timeout on the floor with 5.2 seconds left to go. Let's leave it here and we'll talk it through the break. So 5.2 seconds left to go. 75-74. Scots by 1. Scots will have the basketball in the backcourt. They'll inbound it on the baseline. The person inbounding the basketball will be able to run the baseline. You know that Webster's going to try to foul very quickly. $18 fouls on the Scots. 10 team fouls, or more than 10 team fouls, obviously, on Webster. So the Scots are in the double bonus. Possession arrow favors Webster. Scots are going to send out. They're going to send out Malik Madison, J.P. Morgan, Frank Toney, Colin McCullough, and Israel Palmer. J.P. Morgan will trigger it in. See what Coach Rodney Mays has drawn up to get the basketball in. They'll get it into McCullough. McCullough is going to be fouled, and he's going to go to the line to shoot 2 with 3.6 seconds left to go in the ball game. Foul was called on Grahovic. That's his 3rd personal foul. And Colin McCullough will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. 3.6 seconds left to go. 75-74. Cowan's first free throw on the way is good. 13 points in the ball game, 76-74. Cowan's second free throw on the way, in and out, no good. Rebound comes off to Webster. Timeout on the floor. 2.3 seconds left to go in the ball game. They're going to talk about whether they're going to put any more time back on the clock. I think let's see what they're doing. They're still discussing it. I think the clock's right. So they're not going to put any time back on the clock. Webster's going to have to go the full length of the floor with 2.3 seconds to try to get a shot off.
Scots lead it 76-74. Scots are in the double bonus. Webster in the bonus. Possession arrow favors Webster. Webster now out of timeouts. Scots with one timeout. Beckton's going to trigger it in for Webster. He'll have to hold his spot. They get it in. Running, long three-pointer. It's no good. Scots win. Scots win 76-74. We'll be back in a minute to wrap it up and get Coach Rodney Mays up here. You're watching Lyon College basketball on the Scots Digital Network, powered by Blue Frame Technology. Ronald Richardson back at Becknell Gymnasium, where the Lyon College Scots have defeated the Webster University Gorlocks by a final score of 76-74 in overtime. Final stats on the evening for Webster. They were 31 of 64 from the floor for 48.4%. 3 of 13 from behind the three-point line for 23.1%. 9 of 12 from the free throw line for 75%. 33 rebounds in the basketball game, 9 of them on the offensive end. They led by as many as 16 points in this basketball game. They dished out 13 assists. They did not block a shot, had 7 steals, and turned the basketball over 18 times. For the Scots, 31 of 61 from the floor for 50.8%. 4 of 19 from behind the three-point line for 21.1%. 10 of 22 from the free throw line for 45.5%. 35 rebounds in the game, 10 of them on the offensive end. Scots only led by 4 at their largest lead. They dished out 22 assists. They blocked 6 shots. They had 7 steals. And let's see here, they had 18 turnovers in the basketball game. Individually for Webster, they were led in scoring by Moore, who had 21 points. 20 points for Jones, 13 for Coleman, 7 for Luster, 5 for Grahovic, 4 for Simmons, and 4 for Beckton. For the Scots, led in scoring this afternoon by Nick Sasaroga with 16 points in the basketball game, 14 points for Israel Palmer, 13 points for Colin McCullough, 11 points for Malik Madison, 8 points for J.P. Morgan, 6 points for Frank Toney, 5 points for Jones White, and 3 points for Trenton Bell. Joined now here at broadcast position with Lyon coach Rodney Mays. And, Coach, what a phenomenal basketball game. Great effort by your team. They never gave up.
There's something in it, Ronald. We teach our guys to be tough and aggressive, no matter what the situation is. We practice situational basketball, being down in practice all the time, man. And I just challenge these guys. They challenge each other, and they step up to the plate tonight. It's a really, really that's a great basketball team, Ronald.
That's a very great basketball team. They're well coached, you can tell. This was going to be a good matchup. You could just tell by looking at them and stuff. And tonight was one of those nights, Rodney, that and again, forgive me if I'm being presumptive here, but it looked like at times we were just slightly out of sync. I mean, shots that we hit Thursday night didn't go down, passes that we made just off the fingertips and things along those lines. But
to be down 16 points to a very good basketball team as what like Webster was, and to be able to just keep fighting, you got to be very proud of those young men on that bench.
I'm definitely am. Now, I'm not happy about the turnovers, Ronald, but our guys held their composure. We got a good group of basketball players, and once they really figured it out, Webster went to a zone on us a little bit, and they caused a little bit of trouble. We're trying to be attacked and get really good scores out of it, but once those guys really figured it out, we start coming along. We played basketball really good.
And again, when you look at the very even scoring on the night, Sasaroga was 16-14 for Israel, including the basket that put it into overtime. He hit a couple of really big free throws late. Colin McCullough, some big free throws late with 13 points, 11 points from Madison, and then J.P. Morgan come in with 8 points in the second half. I thought J.P. gave you really good second half minutes when you needed it, when Malik was in foul trouble. And not only did J.P. do well offensively, but also defensively against their big guys.
Yeah, he definitely did. Taking charges, being a vocal leader for us on the floor. He does that all for us, and that gets our other guys going. They respond to it, which is a really great thing.
I thought, and again, Frank Toney only had 6 points in the basketball game. We can say only had 6 points in the basketball game. Did a phenomenal job handling the basketball, getting the team where they needed to be. Was able to get a lot of entry passes into the high post in which Nick and or Malik could spin with the basketball and find guys cutting to the basket. What can you say about, what Frank does and what he gives to this basketball team?
He gives us a lot of energy. He sets us up to be in position to be able to score the basketball. He got the 6 points, but he had 11 assists. So for me as a coach, I'm looking at the 11 assists. Those are all points. That add up for us, getting everybody else involved. So that's what point guard's supposed to do, and he did that for us tonight.
Absolutely. And then, again, Israel, the second game back, and, he had a great game on Thursday night, had a really big game tonight. Again, baskets when you needed baskets. I thought he defended really well all night and just, a level head and able to be in the right place at the right time and make the play.
If anybody watching these games, they know what Israel brings to our team. That's energy. He's a big-time energy defensive type guy, but in the second half, man, when you're trying to win, this is the time where guys step up, and we need all of that from them. We got 9 games left at the today, and, our challenge is to be able to get better every time and have that guy on the floor with us.
Colin, again, the quiet. I'm going to just start calling him the quiet assassin because you just, you almost forget about him sometimes, and then you look at his stat line and think, my goodness, such a skillful basketball player. Did a really good job tonight. Like what you see out of Colin McCullum.
Yeah, the biggest thing, we know Colin can score and stuff, he pick and chooses his spots and stuff is really good as a basketball player. He's definitely really, really smooth, but you look at the stat sheet like, oh, wow, he did have that, when we need tough baskets and tough situations, he step up to the plate and knock it down for us.
And the other one that I'll make mention of, Malik Madison. And, again, Malik did not have the game that he had Thursday night, obviously. But, again, I think that rim down there, I don't know if y'all tightened it up or not. And my question to you is kind of off the subject a little bit, but not off the subject. Do you have a backup backboard just in case he tears it down? What's going to happen when he rips the rim out in a basketball game?
I don't know, but I definitely want to see it, Ron. I'll be honest with you, But he's just aggressive. That's what he does, Hopefully we get a lot more out of that, from him. But he's a great basketball player, come his own way and help us out tremendously.
Well, and on the defensive end, he's an absolute force. He changed shots. He blocked shots, blocked a couple late. And, we finished the game with 6 blocked shots in the basketball game, all 6 of them by Malik in the second half. There were no blocked shots in the first half, and those 6 blocks were tremendous. And so, huge win, Coach. You got to go down there and give the guys high five for me and tell them a great effort. But Tuesday night back in action, got to go to Mississippi University for women, back for 2 games next week here on Thursday against Fontbonne and then Principia on Saturday. And so what do you expect when the next 3 games for the Scots? What do you got to do to keep things going?
At this time, we're going back through the cycle now. We didn't play each team know each other as well. We better hold our composure is the biggest thing. That's going to be tough for us as we got 3 games in 1 week. So health-wise is a big thing for us, but staying consistent with what we're doing playing basketball. Good wins will come. Good things will happen if you stay together as a team and be able to persevere through a lot of different challenges like today.
Well, today was a challenge, and they did persevere. Rodney, thank you. Great job. I'm proud of you, proud of the team. So we'll catch you next Thursday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ronald.
That was Lion coach Rodney Mays as the Scots win the basketball game by the final score of 76-74 into overtime. Again, Scots will be on the road Tuesday as they'll go to the Mississippi University for women. That game will tip at around 7:15 p.m. Be back here in Becknell Gymnasium next Thursday against Fontbonne. Women will tip at 5:30. Men will tip at about 7:15 or so. We'll have all of the action for you on the Scott's Digital Network. And then next Saturday, a week from today, back here in Becknell Gymnasium for the women and men against Principia. Women will tip at 1, men about 3:15 or so. For Martin Couch, for Athletic Director Kevin Jenkins, I'm Ronald Richardson. We want to thank you for watching Lyon College basketball. Good night. Have a great rest of your weekend.